I have just a small announcement to make. Please try and sit still. Everyone sit up and do the meditation. Even when I talk, it's just also just the transmission of energy. And if you're moving and fidgeting, it disrupts the whole, not only for you, but for everybody sitting here. It's hard to believe because people are here from different parts of the world, but it's a group. And everyone has to have the kind of discipline that allows the energy, the Shakti, to really flourish. On the 12th to the 14th of October, I'm going to be doing a retreat in New York at a place called Stony Brook, a very nice place where I've been to many times and have done retreats. And, there are people that have signed up, but it looks like there's 3, 4 people that most likely won't come. And if you're interested in attending, you should get in touch with me, send me an email. I'll pass it on to Jennifer and she will give you all the information. Those retreats are always very powerful. They're, 3 classes a day, and each class is, a regular meditation with hands-on healing and question and answers afterwards. They're very powerful. By the end of the weekend, it's truly a transformative weekend. So if you've been thinking about it, you haven't signed up yet, I think there are going to be spaces open because the feeling is that at least 2, 3, 4 people are intimating that they're not going to come. So I just want to make this available to anybody who, hasn't signed up and does want to come. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
My question was just, Stuart, you said October, but you mean August, is that correct?
I said October? No, August. August okay. 12th to 14th.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's for my birthday. My birthday is August 10th. So every year we have this retreat. Last year, I don't think we had it because of COVID, but this year we're going to start doing it again. I mean, I used to do this once a month somewhere in the world. I mean, in Brazil and Europe and all over the United States, I would fly somewhere and have these retreats. But I can't do that anymore, to be honest with you. It's too much. It almost killed me when I was doing it. So now I'm going to do it maybe 2, 3 times a year, in places that are relatively close to where I live. And if people want to attend, you're welcome. And it's always extremely beneficial, very profound, lots of energy and lots of transformation. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? Nobody has a, okay. Ask a question. It always adds a whole dimension to the meditation. I mean, the whole purpose, look, we're a group of people, sometimes there are more, sometimes less, and it's a group. But the purpose is not social communication and interaction with other people. It's a group of people, but the whole purpose of this meditation is that each and every person who attends it is here because of a need inside themselves to have a spiritual life. When there's a group of people, the Shakti is always much stronger than when one sits on their own. And this kind of Shakti, the purpose of it is not for me to be a teacher and me to have disciples and all that nonsense. The purpose of it is to give each person who attends these classes, retreats, whatever it is, the opportunity to build inside themselves a chakra system, an inner life that is strong enough so they can have their own independent connection with God. So though we meet as a group, and you probably don't feel like you're in a group because everybody is sitting in their bedroom or living room somewhere in the world, and we're doing it on Zoom. The purpose is really, it's about oneself. We all need energy, you understand? I mean, automobiles are almost smarter than people. They, when they run out of oil, they run out of gas, they stop functioning. People run out of energy and they run their lives on tension, and then it just completely drains them, and it shouldn't be that way, especially if you have knowledge that there are classes like this being given, and then one has to take advantage of it. It's not for me. I mean, I've been doing this a really long time, and it's really, manifested in a deep inner growth and a connection with God and a willingness to use my energy, my time, and life to serve that connection. But each person that attends here, you understand, it's like going and pulling into an Exxon station and refilling the tanks of your car. If you don't do it, the car's going to stop working. And part of the craziness of the world is that nobody refills their tank. They just function on tension and hypertension and, energy. There's no balance, there's no harmony, the heart isn't open. So what they transmit to other human beings is just tension. And one wonders why the world is so crazy. One wonders why an automobile is smarter than most people. We have to refill our tanks. We spend energy. It's like earning a salary every week. You can't spend double what you earn. You're going to be in a lot of trouble. So you have to, regulate what you earn, how to spend, how to conserve energy. And then, when you get your paycheck, you have more money. Maybe you save some and you have more money. And this is no different. It parallels just about everything we do on Earth. And the conservation part of it is really important. The recognition that I can only spend so much energy before I'm just going to simply dry up. And when a person recognizes that, all the bullshit stops in their brain, saying, no, I got to get energy. I got to get that life force, that Shakti, that energy that truly regenerates me and enables me to go through internal death and rebirth and, to transform all the tension, the problems into a connection with higher energy in the universe. Again, it's not about Stuart having students. I've had enough students in my life to recognize that I don't need any more of that karma. It's about giving away what I've learned. And it's about trying to pass on to a new generation of people this amazing work that Rudy left the world. So take advantage of it. Understand how important it is to pull into the spiritual Exxon station. Get Shakti that you need, and I need, and we all need in order to function. I mean, in this world that we live in, it's so intense. People, by the time they're 35, 40 years old, they're just burning out. They're having heart attacks, getting cancer, they're getting all kinds of crazy illnesses, and it's just that lacking of energy that allows their system to regenerate itself, to flourish again, to open to a source, that truly is infinite in the universe. And that keeps nourishing them and gives them the strength to deal with all the stuff we have to deal with in life without allowing that stuff to dry us up. I mean, when a person recognizes this, they truly begin to take complete responsibility for themselves. I mean, you know, being around Rudy, and I was around Rudy quite a bit when I was younger, you know, and I mean, it was not easy. He was like this engine that generated, you know, an intensity of fire and Shakti that half the time I felt like it was too much to deal with. But then, you know, as I started learning from him, I realized, Stuart, all he's showing you is you've got to grow. You've got to grow. You got to stop bitching and complaining about life, and you have to truly grow. You have no other, you know, responsibility. And the miracle was that I could spend time around him and allow his teachings and his Shakti to so penetrate that I'm still feeling that energy today. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? And just to put an addendum to this, there's nothing fanatical about this. I mean, when you think about it, these classes are an hour and a quarter, maybe 4 times a week. So it's 5 hours a week. And I once calculated there's like 165 hours in a week. This takes up, you know, 5 hours of a week. And it's, you know, something very doable. It's not like, I know years ago, people told me that in Zazen weekend meditations, they'd have to sit for 12 hours, you know, and do Zazen. And if they moved a finger, you know, some monk would come and hit them over the head with a stick. I mean, it's nothing like that. It's very doable. I mean, Rudy, you know, he always told me, if you sit and do this meditation for 45 minutes, you'll get enough energy for a week, a month, a year. If you really do it in depth, you'll burn up lifetimes of karma. Does anyone have a question?
I have a question, Stuart. This is Melissa.
Yes, Melissa.
Hi. Can you talk about, this makes me think of what Chris was saying whenever we met last or some time ago. Anyway, can you talk about when we're sitting and there's both a sense of the sitting lasting forever and also it lasting for like 2 seconds, that it's both?
Well, you're absolutely connecting with the reality of time. You know, a lifetime seems to last forever, and it's over in the blinking of an eye. So when you sit and do the meditation, you're tuning into the reality of time. Something that feels like it goes on, and yet it's over in the blinking of an eye. I mean, look. I mean, look, I mean, when you think that a human being, you know, if we're lucky, we're given 60, 80 years to live, 90 years, 30 years, whatever it is, you know? And what is that when you begin to just think about how extensive and how endless time is? I mean, one of the best examples I know of that is the Mount Meru mandala in Tibetan Buddhism. You know, where there's a mountain called Mount Meru, and it's like 60,000 feet high. And around it is an ocean that's 30,000, also 60,000 feet. Around it is a mountain chain that's 30,000 feet high. Around that is an ocean, and it goes on 13 times until you're basically left with nothing at the end. And to think, if you're sitting on Mount Meru, there's no limit to your perspective. And the whole crux of this mandala is that there are millions of Mount Merus flowing through the cosmos. millions of them. Each and every human being is a Mount Meru, you know, and each and every human being, if they really open to the Shakti and the energy, can sit at the center of that mandala and perceive the entire universe. And to think there are billions of these universes flowing through the cosmos. I mean, I think that's one of the greatest expressions of time I ever heard. That we think a month, a year, 20 years as long, and it's just a beating blink of an eye. It's what we do in that time, how we fill that time, that is more important than the time itself. And if we do deep inner work, if we do deep meditation, then the time seems to be infinite. Like the retreats I give, the weekends appear to be infinite, and then they're over, and it's like, my God, it's over. It's like the blinking of an eye. But while you're going through it, it feels like it's something going on infinitely. And how we fill time, what we, like Rudy used to talk about time and space. It's what we fill time and space with. If we fill time and space with the grumblings in our brain, with our anger, our insecurity, our victimhood, our this, that's what you fill. If we fill it with love, if we fill it with consciousness, if we allow Shakti to develop our chakra system, where we're sitting at, you know, at the top of Mount Meru, looking out over the entire universe, that's what we fill time and space with. So the whole point is to develop a chakra system that is strong enough to fill time and space with love, with joy, with consciousness, with knowledge, with wisdom, instead of all that nonsense that floats in the river. And yet we also need the nonsense. The nonsense is a very good reminder that we still have to work on ourselves and grow.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question? It's down to a simple reality. Everything is a manifestation of God or higher energy or whatever you want to call it. Everything. Good, the bad, the indifferent, the ugly, the delicious, the tasteless. Everything is a manifestation of higher energy. And it becomes a manifestation to each and every one of us when we truly learn that the real guru is life. Life is the ultimate guru. My job is to just build people so they can ultimately sit in front of life and allow life to truly teach them. I say this a lot. I think it just bears to be repeated, you know? Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, then there'll be a meditation on, what is today, Monday, Wednesday? And God bless you all. I'm looking forward to seeing you. And I say it all the time, and I maybe you're tired of hearing it, but in all humility, I am so grateful to be here, to be sitting with you all. You know, you all are my guru, my teacher. You all are so much a part of my life that is teaching me how to get closer to God. So God bless you all. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Stuart.
Good night, Stuart.
Good night.
Good night.